Jake leases a car. Marcus buys the same car. They both walk out of the dealership with that intoxicating new car smell in their lungs and a sense of absolute victory in their chests. They both believe they outsmarted the salesman. They are both wrong. They are wrong because neither of them looked past the first 30 days. Neither of them accounted for the invisible wealth tax that starts ticking the moment the tires hit the pavement. And when you finally run the numbers across a 10-year horizon, the gap between these two men isn't just a few $1,000s. It is the difference between a paid-off retirement and a lifetime of financial noise. Let's keep the playing field perfectly level. Jake and Marcus are financial twins. They both earn $55,000 a year. They both want the exact same $30,000 sedan. Same model, same trim, same midnight blue paint. They walk into the same dealership on the same humid Saturday morning. The only difference is the ink they put on the paper. Jake signs a 36-month lease. He puts $2,000 down and his payment is a sleek, manageable $299 a month. The salesman leans in and whispers, "You're winning, Jake. Low monthly, brand new car every 3 years. And you're always under warranty. If anything breaks, it's our problem, not yours. In 3 years, you just hand us the keys and walk away. No strings attached." It sounds like freedom. It sounds like the ultimate life hack. Marcus takes a different path. He takes out a 60-month auto loan at 6% interest. His down payment is $3,000, $1,000 more than Jake's, and his monthly payment is $522. That is $223 more than Jake every single month. Marcus can feel that weight in his budget immediately. He's thinking about the dinners out he has to skip. He's thinking about the tighter margins. On day one, Jake's pockets are heavier, his life feels lighter, and he drives off the lot convinced that Marcus is a sucker for debt. But here is the psychological sleight of hand. The structure of these two deals is fundamentally different. Every dollar Marcus spends is an investment in an asset. Every dollar Jake spends is a fee for a service. One man is building a house, the other is paying for a hotel room. And over a lifetime, that distinction is worth 6 figures. For the first 3 years, Jake is living the high life. He has zero mechanical anxiety. If the transmission stutters, he drops it at the dealer and takes a free loaner. If the AC dies in the middle of a July heat wave, it's a non-event. Jake's only variables are gas and insurance. He has capped his risk. Marcus, meanwhile, is underwater. The second he drove that car off the lot, it plummeted in value to $26,000. By year 2, it's worth $20,000, but his loan balance is still $22,000. He owes the bank more than the car is worth. Psychologically, this is the valley of death for car buyers. Every payment feels like it's being thrown into a black hole. Jake sees this and smiles. From the outside, the lease looks like a masterstroke of financial engineering. But let's stop looking at feelings and start looking at the scoreboard at the end of month 36. Jake has paid $12,764 total. Marcus has paid $21,792. Jake has saved $9,028. On paper, Jake is winning by a landslide. But this is where the story takes a violent turn. Jake's lease is up. He drives back to the dealership, and he hits the leaser's wall. He has no car. He has no equity. He has 3 years of receipts and nothing to show for it. To keep driving, he does what 80% of leasers do. He signs again. New car, new contract. Another $2,000 down, another $299 a month. The odometer resets to 0, but his wealth resets to 0 too. He is on a permanent conveyor belt. Marcus, at month 36, is still paying that heavy $522. It's frustrating, but Marcus has something Jake will never have: a finish line. He has 24 payments left, and they are circled on his calendar in red ink. Every time Marcus hits send on that payment, he is buying back his future freedom. He is chipping away at a stone that will eventually become a diamond. Month 60 arrives. Marcus makes his final payment. He feels a physical weight lift off his shoulders. The title arrives in the mail. No more payments. No more debt. For the next 5 years, Marcus's only car costs are gas, insurance, and the maintenance fund. Maybe $150 a month for tires, brakes, and the occasional sensor. Now, let's look at the scoreboard at the end of year 6. Jake has completed 2 full lease cycles. He has spent $25,528. He owns nothing. He is staring at a third lease contract and another $2,000 down payment. Marcus has spent $34,320 on his loan, but he owns a car worth $12,000. If he sold that car today, his effective cost for 6 years of driving is $22,320. Suddenly, the expensive buyer is $3,000 richer than the cheap leaser. The flip happened in the dark while Jake was enjoying his new car smell. From this point forward, the gap becomes an abyss. But the dealership never tells you about the hidden penalties of the lease. They don't talk about the mileage caps. The average lease allows 10,000 miles a year. The average American drives 13,500. By the end of his first lease, Jake is 10,000 miles over his limit. At 20 cents a mile, that's a $2,000 surprise bill due the second he hands over the keys. Then there's the wear and tear inspection. That door ding from the grocery store, $400. The slightly worn tread on the tires, $600. The disposition fee, just for the privilege of giving the car back, $400. Jake didn't budget for these. They hit him all at once like a surprise tax on his lifestyle. And if Jake loses his job or moves to a city with a subway system, he's trapped. Breaking a lease early is often more expensive than just finishing it. He has traded his flexibility for a lower monthly payment. I would be lying if I said buying was a perfect fairy tale. Ownership has its own brand of stress. Once Marcus passes year 5, the safety net of the warranty is gone. He is the CEO of his own transportation. When the transmission slips or the head gasket blows, there is no free loaner. There is only a $3,000 bill and a stressful week of Uber rides. For many people, this unpredictability is a trauma they aren't willing to endure. They lease because they are buying predictability, not a car. And depreciation is a relentless thief. Marcus's $30,000 asset turned into a $12,000 asset. That value evaporated into the atmosphere. The secret, however, is that depreciation is front-loaded. A new car loses 20% in year 1, but only 5% in year 7. By holding the car for a decade, Marcus lets the depreciation monster starve to death. Let's zoom out to the 10-year mark. This is where the math becomes staggering. Jake has leased 3.5 cars. Between down payments, monthly checks, and end-of-lease penalties, Jake has spent approximately $50,000. He is currently driving a brand new car, but his net worth related to transportation is $0. He is a permanent subscriber to the dealership. Marcus paid off his car in year 5. Between the loan and 5 years of out-of-warranty maintenance, Marcus has spent roughly $46,000. But Marcus still has the car. It's 10 years old. It has some scratches, but it runs perfectly, and it's worth $5,000. His total effective cost is $41,000. Jake spent $50,000 to own nothing. Marcus spent $41,000 to own an asset. That's a $9,000 difference over 10 years. Only $9,000, you might ask. But look closer. If Marcus took that $522 he was used to paying and, after his loan was finished, invested just the difference between his maintenance cost and his old payment, roughly $370 a month, into an index fund for the remaining 5 years, he would have an additional $28,000 in the bank. The real gap isn't just the car. It's the opportunity cost of the permanent payment. While Jake was paying for the privilege of driving, Marcus was using his car money to buy his freedom. Leasing is a luxury service, not a financial strategy. It makes sense in very narrow windows. If you own a business and can deduct the payment as an expense, the taxman effectively pays for 30% of your lease. If you drive a high-end German luxury car where a single repair can cost more than a year of lease payments, leasing is a form of insurance. And if you are the rare 1% who actually takes the monthly savings and invests it in high-growth assets, you can mathematically win. But be honest with yourself. Are you going to invest that $223 a month? Or are you going to spend it on a better data plan and more expensive sushi? For 95% of the population, the savings from a lease are invisible. They get absorbed into a lifestyle that grows to meet the paycheck. The real trap isn't the lease or the loan. The real trap is the monthly payment mindset. We have been conditioned to ask how much a month instead of how much in total. The dealership wants you to focus on the $299 because $299 feels safe. $299 feels like a utility bill, but $50,000 over 10 years, that feels like a tragedy. When you focus on the monthly, you lose sight of the horizon. You become a passenger in your own financial life, handing the wheel to a salesman who is incentivized to keep you on the conveyor belt forever. Jake and Marcus both thought they were being smart. Jake thought he was staying modern and risk-free. Marcus thought he was being responsible. But the math doesn't care about your intentions. The math only cares about who owns the title at the end of the day. If you want to be wealthy, you have to stop renting your status and start owning your utility. The next time someone slides a monthly payment across the desk that looks too good to be true, don't look at the $299. Look at the 10-year horizon. Look at the finish line, because if there is no finish line, you aren't running a race. You're just running on a treadmill, and the only person getting anywhere is the person selling the electricity. Ask yourself, at the end of 10 years, do you want a pile of receipts or do you want the keys? Choose the keys. Always choose the keys.